So I saw this tweet, which led me to this tweet, which then led me to these videos. And I love watching studio content as much as the next music YouTube person, so I kept watching until I found these. These are the Mimu gloves, and they allow Ariana to do some crazy shit with her voice. And I want to walk you through how it all works. The gloves themselves, they're pretty normal. They just sense motion, right? They can sense bends in fingers, open or closed palms, swinging around of the hand. They track movement. Now, even if you're not too well versed in music production, I can trust that you know what reverb on a voice sounds like. It's like when you shout in a big empty room and it reverberates. The thing is, when you put an effect like reverb on a voice in music making software, you have all these little parameters about the reverb that you can change. How long does the reverb last? How bright does it sound? How loud is it compared to the unaffected or dry vocal? Now, the magic actually happens when you connect the Mimu gloves to software where you make music, like Ableton, which is what Ariana uses. The Mimu software talks to Ableton, and essentially you're able to use your hands to add and fine-tune effects on your voice. Ariana did exactly this for her 2015 honeymoon tour, and let's just say it was a hit. And from watching a bunch of videos of her use them on tour, I've kind of broken down her gesture setup, and I think it works like this. When she points her finger up, that adds a layer of harmony. Now, when she points up, she can either have her palm open or closed. If it's open, you're gonna get major sounding harmonies or happy sounding harmonies. And when she closes her palm, you'll hear minor harmonies or sad sounding harmonies. Making a fist activates a loop, and rotating the fist controls the speed of that loop. Now, the pinched finger was hard for me to figure out, and it looked like it was a little weird for Ariana to figure out how to use too. It was ditched from the live show in favor of another gesture, but if you're curious, pinched finger on its own adds reverb, which is going to be really hard to show you, and pinched finger with pointer finger adds reverbed harmonies. Now, what I think this was replaced with in the live show was a claw gesture. The claw acts as a human high-pass filter. That is, the more that she opens her hand with the claw, the more frequencies you hear, the fuller it sounds. The more closed it is, the less high frequencies you're hearing. And that'll kind of sound like she's underwater. And finally, when she pans her hand around in the puppet position, that is actually panning. That'll move her voice from left to right in the stereo image. As someone who has a degree in music technology, I thought this was awesome. It is such a music nerd thing for an artist this big to be into, but that is exactly why I love it. My original idea was actually going to be talking about how much of a dream she is to have in the studio, based on clips of her working with her recording engineer, and how just above and beyond literate she is in the whole process, not just singing or arranging, and how she does her own work in Ableton or Pro Tools when she's working on her own. And for context, Pro Tools is like one of the hardest creative programs to learn from scratch, and I'm speaking from experience. It's an industry standard in studios, sure, but it is far from my first choice if I'm just a beginner songwriter trying to produce a track or a demo on my own. Loving the engineering and producing side of the craft is a great way to inject longevity into your career as an artist, just in the way of like enjoying and challenging yourself. And Ariana seems to have a great balance between the two. I think that's it for now, but if you know of any other awesome female producer, engineer type of people, please drop them below because I need a bigger list. I want to know about them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.